Daylight in the swamp. This sound could be heard throughout northern Michigan during the late 1800s and early 1900s. It meant that the lumbermen at the logging camps were just starting their day. At 5:30 a.m. they gathered in the mess hall. The cook served them a hearty breakfast of biscuits, pancakes, corned beef, donuts, fried potatoes, and hot coffee. They had to hurry. They were only given 20 minutes to eat. The men would then begin their 2-mile hike to the day's logging site. The walk was brisk as the sun had not come up yet. The colder and snowier, the more tiring the men's day would be. Timber. As early as 6:30 a.m., the call could be heard, meaning that trees were already starting to come down. Many of the trees were as much as 200 years old, so many were 200 feet tall and over 5 feet around. The men worked with large saws to bring them down. At around noon, the men would gather around a fire to warm up. The cooks would bring them a hot lunch of pea soup, warmed-up breakfast leftovers, bread, hot coffee and tea, cookies and pie. Again, the men had to hurry because they only had 20 minutes before it was back to work. The men would begin to cut the trees into smaller logs and haul them on ox-drawn sleds to the river. The logs were floated down the river to a sawmill where they were cut into wood boards and shipped off to places all over the country. The cry of "log jam" could be heard whenever the logs got stuck in the river. Men would have to clear them by walking on the logs and using a peavey, a tool used to break the jam free. When dusk fell, the men would clear the forest and hike the 2 miles back to camp. When they arrived, a hearty meal would be waiting for them at the cook's shanty. They were served meat, potatoes, canned fruit and vegetables, beans, bread and pies, hot coffee and tea. Again, only 20 minutes for the meal. The men spent an hour or so after dinner playing card games and singing by the fire. By 9 o'clock they headed off to bed. They had another hard day's work ahead of them tomorrow, and it would be here before they knew it.